So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Riverwood Conservancy's webinar series, 5 Senses with Anisa El-Amin. My name is Stephanie. I am the Community Program Coordinator at the Riverwood Conservancy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. I want to say a special thanks to Credit Valley Conservation for supporting the community programs that we do. And before we get started, I just want to mention that our December events are now live on our website. Please check that out at theriverwoodconservancy.org/events to register for in-person or virtual programs, including beginner bird watching, trivia nights, and winter wildlife walks, which include hot chocolate and feeding birds. And if you have the capacity to support our programs and protect Riverwood's wildlife, please consider donating. Right now, thanks to the generosity of Scots Canada, all donations to our holiday campaign made before December 31st, 2021 will be matched dollar for dollar up to $15,000. That means your gift will have double the impact. Find out more at theriverwoodconservancy.org/double. And before we get to our wonderful speaker today, the Riverwood Conservancy would like to acknowledge that the land on which we operate is the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and the traditional homeland of the Anishinaabe, Wendat, and Haudenosaunee nations. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, this place is still home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on this land. And this evening, we have our wonderful speaker today, Anisa El-Amin, who began yoga practice in childhood with a background in classical ballet. She started teaching yoga to adults, seniors, children, and private clients in 2000. Anisa is a registered yoga practitioner with Yoga Alliance and certified fitness instructor. Anisa's classes are infused with spiritual depth, space to breathe, and gracefully integrated sequences. Clients come to a deep awareness of their body and themselves while acquiring effective strategy for handling stress. Her personal philosophy is to continually guide clients towards a focus on their body, mind, and spirit while maintaining an important level of safety within the class. So thanks so much, Anisa, for joining us today. And if you have any questions for her, please type them in the comment section or the Q&A section, and we will get to them at the end of the presentation just before the meditation. And I will pass it right over to you, Anisa. Thank you once again for joining.
Thank you for joining me. I'm grateful to be here with you to explore how to use our 5 senses to improve our moments of uncertainty by promoting radical surrender. I'm going to share my screen now.
And we can still see you actually, Anisa, so go ahead.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can.
Yes? Okay. Great. So now.
And we can see you, so perfect.
Okay, great. So this is our agenda for tonight. We are going to talk about what is radical surrender and what is not radical surrender, so to differentiate between both. And then we are going to talk about when to use radical surrender and how to use it and why to use the radical surrender through mindfulness and meditation is important. As Stephanie said, we are going to have some time for QA and we'll have a short meditation at the end. So definitions are important, and I want to take a moment to define what is radical surrender. So radical surrender is when someone is going through a challenging time and you do not have any attachment to the pain. So let's talk about the pain in terms of what is the pain. So the pain is a reference to the challenging time. Oftentimes, people would suffer not direct from the pain, but the suffer comes from the attachment to the pain. So sometimes when a human being experiences a painful event, radical surrender would be the best tool to be used, not being attached to the pain in order to overcome the suffering. And now let's talk about what is not being attached mean. Not being attached, it doesn't mean that you do not have emotion. It means you are inviting those emotions to the current painful circumstances by understanding them, welcome them with gratitude as an opportunity for personal growth to make a change in life. So also we may have to set some intention in order for not allowing the pain to turn into suffering by being mindful to our thoughts, the feelings, in order to identify when you are allowing yourself to feel much better. When we judge the situation or an event or the hurt from or by a person, we are sending negative vibration to the universe, and we are asking for more of these painful events or peoples or situation. So when we practice non-judgmental to the person, non-judgmental to the event or the situation, then we are accepting the reality of the mind, body, and spirit for what it is, and not getting into the present of emotional reaction to the reality. So basically, radical surrender has another term to be used, and throughout the webinar, you are going to hear me saying radical acceptance or radical surrender. So both of the terms are the same and have the same definition as this at the same time. So with the practicing radical surrender, on a day-to-day, you will notice a huge positive outcomes from taking baby steps to master the radical acceptance or the radical surrender. Now, most of the time, radical acceptance can be used when a situation that cannot be fixed or changed. So for example, when an event happens and feels like it's unfair to lose a job or lose loved ones or lose something you value in life. When we allow ourselves to grieve and feel the disappointments that has happened, we are saying to our body, mind, and spirit that these disappointment feelings are normal, but the suffering happen when we have lack of acceptance. So radical acceptance does not mean you agree with what is happening or what has happened to you. Radical acceptance is an invitation. It's an opportunity for practicing self-acceptance and accepting things as they are, and avoid to control the outcome or to fight or to blame against a person or a situation. So basically, radical surrender, radical acceptance is a skill to navigate through the difficult situation without blaming someone or oneself. Now let's talk about what is not radical surrender. At the same time, it is important to acknowledge that there are situations that you should not accept and that do not fit in the criteria for radical acceptance. It's usually easy to identify these situations because they are ones where if you made some change or took some action, then it's possible that the things can be different. So for example, if you are stuck in a relationship that is not going anywhere, practicing radical surrender or radical acceptance might reduce your feelings of unease, but in the long run, you might wish that you had just gotten out of the relationship. And I've listed like another examples, such as a dangerous situation or harassments or being taken advantage of work, or getting bait of with less amount and getting burned out, or lack of respect, or treating poorly by someone, or being fear of not taking an action to avoid a situation or to face a conversation, or when you are trying to please instead of standing up for yourself, or when someone is being controlling or overprotecting someone by holding on something from someone else. Now let's talk about when to use radical surrender or radical acceptance. Keep in mind that the goal behind radical acceptance is to get to the point that you can see the options in a situation. So for example, let's talk about how you cope with the death. Rather than focusing on injustice of a death or why it should not have happened the way that it did, radical acceptance allows you to focus on your grieving process and the best way to handle it. In this way, you are still reacting, but with less intense emotions. So you are setting some goal to focus on finding ways to get out of the situation for yourself. So if you have experienced, for example, a trauma or negative emotions through events in your life, so stuffing down your emotions or being overly emotional, reacted to the situation, it's not going to help your well-being. Same apply when you are driving for an important meeting, such as interview or maybe your wedding day, to arrive to the venue on time. And while there are some traffic jam, so reacting to the situation will not help you to arrive to your destination any sooner. So practicing radical acceptance and tap into the wise mind will take you a long way. So a lot of time, it's not easy to cope at the beginning with the situation that have caused you a lot of pain. But you may find that when you are practicing radical surrender or radical acceptance, you eventually will start to feel much better. Now, let's talk about how to master radical surrender. In this webinar, I'm listing just 4 techniques to explain on how to master radical surrender. There are more than 50 techniques to master radical surrender. But we will talk about those 4 techniques in terms of how to transform our lives and our well-being. Now, oftentimes we take our breath for granted. We inhale oxygen and then we exhale carbon dioxide to keep us moving day to day. Even while we are sleeping, we take our breath for granted. So as a human being, we forget to appreciate what the universe gave us. And most of the time, we do not utilize those 5 senses consciously. We have our 5 senses, and we take it for granted that our 5 senses are there without noticing and observing them in more conscious way. So for example, when we are in the middle of our eating and then we receive a phone call while we are eating, most of the time we are interrupting our eating to answer the phone call. So basically we are not using our taste sense in a proper way. Also, another example, when we walk in a rush and we may pass by someone or something without noticing because we do not have the time to say hello or illustrate gratitude to something beautiful that we saw and we walked by, and then we are not using our sight sense properly. Also, another example, when we are having a conversation with someone, but our mind thinking about our to-do list, and we may miss some of the words that throughout the conversation. So we may forget some of those conversations because we are not paying full attention to the dialogue. So we are not using our sound sense properly. Oftentimes we go for a brisk walk or a run and we may see a flower, but we don't take the time to smell the flower because we may think if we stop for a moment, we may distract our physical activity. Then we are not using our smell sense properly. With respect to the pandemic, we are losing our touch sense. So we are not getting a proper hug or play with a pet or cuddle a child or even elderly person to hold hands. Are you aware that our 5 senses, sight, smell, sound, touch, and taste, they play a huge role in our memories? Your memory acts like a bank of bits of information. When we are using our 5 senses, we are opening our memory bank and expose those information to the past experiences, to the past memories, and the present experiences. For example, when I moved to GTA from my hometown, Cambridge, Ontario, I did look around for the nature in the big city. Then one day while I was driving, I passed by the Riverwood. It was coincidence, and because with my self-curiosity, I want to learn more about what is Riverwood. So the moment I reached the parking lot, my eyes would not want to blink for the nature in the heart of the city. Riverwood has an authentic, beautiful garden, large plants, and long trails. Since that time, not only I have been using my five senses, but I have been sharing and inviting my friends and family members to the Riverwood, where we enjoy our mindfulness walk. I also do my own daily morning meditation at the Riverwood. Also, some of the days I would want just to sit at the bench and do nothing, just to observe my breath and relax my body, close my eyes, and taste the environment at the Riverwood. Riverwood is surrounded with positive energy, and the good things about the Riverwood, it opens all year around. You also could beat the winter blues feelings and be mindful to your self-talk. And the best way to do is to walk into the Riverwood at no cost for the entrance. Because I fell in love with the Riverwood, I decided to get involved by participating in a lot of few programs, such as the gardening, special events. So I also deliver some yoga programs at the Riverwood. When we utilize our five senses, we could always feel alive and being here and now. We would want to appreciate and recognize our senses, and then we would want more of these senses and experiences. Once we utilize our five senses, we are able to focus on the present moment, where your mind and the body becomes into a state of zen, calmness without any judgment. Keep in mind that the radical acceptance built on mindfulness. So by practicing radical surrender or radical acceptance, you will be able to recognize and feel yourself and honor your body, mind, and spirit for the purpose of being here on this planet. The more you feel yourself, you are creating a decent relationship with yourself. Same as when you want to invest in a relationship, friendship relationship, or work relationship with your boss, or relationship with a loved one. In order for you to give and love others, you need to understand yourself and to take care of your inner world. So mindfulness and meditation are important, and we need to talk about why they are important. Now, let's talk about what the scientists and celebrities says about the importance of mindfulness and meditation. So Einstein says we cannot solve our problems from the level of thinking that we were at when we created them. So it means that the more loving and kindness of thinking would target to develop a clear and focused mind, and that's what is meditation. So basically meditation return us to our right mind. And there are different forms of meditation. The first form, what Einstein says, is to develop a clear and focused mind, and that's what's known as clear mind meditation. Now, with Jane Fonda statement, it means that the mindfulness and meditation are mirror-like reflection of each other. So mindfulness support and enrich meditation, while meditation nurture and expand mindfulness. With mindfulness meditation, it helps you to build a home from within your inner world. And now the second form of the meditation is when you use your body as it means to develop your awareness, such as yoga or walking in the nature, and sometimes you could use sounds as chanting. The third form of the meditation is targeting to develop the altruistic states such as loving kindness, compassion, or forgiveness, and that's what's known as open heart meditation. And that's for the presentation. Now it's time for question and answer for QA.
Thanks so much, Anisa. And I find everything you talked about is super important, especially right now, coming out of the pandemic. I feel like a lot of us had kind of pent up energy or yeah, I just felt like there was a lot of negative energy after the pandemic, especially with being home and not being able to see or socialize with people. So I think all of these practices are super important for us right now. So thank you so much. We'll just wait for a second. We have no questions yet on Zoom. So if you do have any questions, just post them in the chat or in the Q&A section on Zoom. But on Facebook, somebody is wondering if you can do meditation in the wintertime during gray or cold days.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, no problem. Somebody is just wondering if you can do meditation in the wintertime.
Sure. So it's up to how the person would feel where they want to do the meditation. So if they want to meditation, it's focused on, usually it's practiced for a specific amount of time, and your awareness of when it comes for like just like focusing on nothing, just to clear your mind. The first step is when you want to start the meditation, you need to pause for a moment at any place that you are, either at home or maybe while you are driving. You may park the car on the side in a safe place, or if you are in the nature, you can find a spot and do your own meditation. So you will, when you want to do the meditation, you bring your awareness to your breathing, and you may want to count your breaths, or you may want to focus on area of your body, and then focus on the breath. And once you focus on the breath, your mind will just direct it to the breath, because the mind acts like a monkey mind. And when you focus on your breath, you will allow your mind to stop juggling around, and you will be just targeting your breath. And then you will be able to start with 1 minute and then increase your observation to your breath in order for you to relax your body. And you could practice meditation to enhance the feeling of acceptance through the muscle relaxation exercise by starting your feet and lower body, the abdominal areas, the hands, the arms, the upper back, the head. Then you could finish your observation and from the perspective of the self-talk through the affirmation as well. So you would say, I enjoy meditation because it helps me to feel peace. Once you find your own affirmation for the experience of your own meditation, you could use that affirmation at the beginning of your meditation as well as at the end of the meditation.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Anisa. And just so everyone knows, the presentation isn't over yet. We are just taking a quick break for Q&A, and then Anisa will be leading everyone on a meditation right afterwards. So don't sneak off quite yet. Anisa, we do have one other question, and that's to do with meditation. Do you find it's better to close your eyes or keep them open? Did you hear that one okay?
Sure, thanks for asking this question. And it doesn't matter if you want to keep your eyes open or you want to have your eyes closed. Basically, I do both. I like to close my eyes sometimes, because when we close our eyes, we are able to go inward and dive into the layers of oneself and understand ourselves more. Sometimes we can do meditation when we are having our eyes open. So if I want to do my meditation at the Riverwood, I would love to enjoy the nature, to enjoy my sight. So I would like to focus on one area in the nature and just focus on the breath and look into the object, and then I would be able to do my own meditation. Sometimes, if you are in the nature as well, you may close the eyes and you just want to use your hearing sense. So where you will able to dive inside, at the same time you are gonna enjoy your hearing sense as well as the taste of the environment surrounds you. So it's really up to the person. So you could use both. You could utilize both, but both of them, while the eyes are open or while the eyes are closed, you can benefit from the meditation.
Wonderful, thank you. Another question came in for you, Anisa, and I don't know if you'll be able to answer this one, but I'll ask it anyways. What strategy do you advise for starting a conversation with a person you're avoiding because of a conflict?
Okay, thank you so much for asking this question. So basically, if you have a conflict with someone and you would like to start a conversation, keep that person around you. So basically, you will start a conversation. Um, um, I feel, and then you experience your feelings about a situation and about that person, with the event that happened. And then once you experience, I feel, for example, I feel anxious um, when I say to you, and or when I try to do for a situation, and then you just mention to that person that the reaction, it doesn't make you feel comfortable, and the reason you are bringing this topic because you want to bring peace and you value this person. You just illustrate to that person the illustrate the gratitude about the person, the values about this person. So start with the positive about that person and positive experiences that you had with that person. And then you shift the conversation about your feelings and how this impacts you, and impact your relationship with that person. And you have an intention that you want to make that relationship better. I hope this has helped.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Anisa. So we don't have any other questions yet. I wonder if you want to go forward with the meditation, and then we'll see if anybody has any other questions at the very end.
Yeah, sure. Let's
Wonderful.
do the meditation. I invite you to make yourself comfortable. Turn your attention inward and bring your focus to your breath and allow your eyes to close gently. Notice how your breath flows into your nose and feel the cool air passes to your nostrils to fill you up. Encourage each exhalation to release energy that does not serve you well. Allow your breath to slow down and practice to what is true to you and to your heart. Cultivate loving energy to your heart to nourish you. And give yourself permission to be fully supported by the earth. Once we work on healing ourselves, we are connecting with collective energy of the universe. And to begin, we are opening to the possibilities with the state of comfort and relaxation. Let the sounds of my voice continue to help you focus on your imagination. This is the time to take care of you and to develop a life that aligns with your intention and values. By taking the time to use your mind to make a change and take your mind as a tool to let your mind know that self-care and relaxation are important. Slowly begin to imagine yourself surrounded in the nature in the heart of the city, where the big land of trees, beautiful garden, birds, and deers. Alongside of long river with ducks and swans and geese are swimming freely. There are all the colors of rainbows, textures, familiar object that surrounds the heaven tranquility place. Take time to observe the reds, the oranges, the yellows, the colors that are pleasing to your eyes and bring feelings of vibes and energy into your soul. You may enjoy cool air with blues and greens that soothe you and calm you. Perhaps you want to enjoy a mix of shades and colors and give yourself a permission to decide which color is most pleasant for you. Enjoy the light that comes from the divine sun and kisses your face to make you smile. Enjoy the quality of nature with the sounds of birds that soothe you and relax you. We are co-creating the rhythm of this special place, a heaven tranquility. Take time to notice the feelings of the air and the temperature surrounds this special place. Now ask yourself, what's the temperature looks like? Is the temperature cool? Is the temperature warm? Is the temperature comfortable? Enjoy the warm, cool breeze to refresh you and feel the breeze cuddle your hair, blowing to dance around you. Enjoy the feeling of warm temperature that makes your shoulders and arm relax. Now take a deep breath, inhale. Are you noticing any sweet aroma of your favorite flower? Now allow to deepen the breath in and then exhale where your body feel more settled and relax into special place fully and completely. Are you noticing any plants in this special place, a place of heaven tranquility? Can you notice the textures of the plants? Can you see and feel the texture? What does the textures feels? Maybe some of them smooth, some of them rough, some of them delicate, or maybe some of them strong. What about the design and the banners in this special place that create harmonious beauty and warmth to your eyes? This special place is becoming very personal to you for your creativity to shine. Can you feel your hands at ease while you are doing some gardening work with the soil? You may decide to plant special herbs to enrich in the taste for your favorite salad. Now, enjoy the feeling of pride for your garden to grow to taste one of your favorite vegetables. Let's take this heaven of tranquility as a project to illustrate self-compassion, self-care, and self-love. You may emerge through the seasons and examine your special place from time to time with curiosity. You can visit this place anytime and go through self-curiosity in your own pace time. You could come to this special place anytime to enjoy your 5 senses. When we have a mindset to attach to the outcome is the root of overwhelming anxiety. Allow to be okay with life as is and get curious about the feelings at the moment of the chaos. Recognize your feelings and accept the present moment. Know that the state of overwhelming or anxiety is an obstacle on your path and it's part of your journey. Because this may be a challenging emotion, let your guard to this emotion down. Make space for awareness and acceptance without any judgment. You are opening a door for kindness and nurturing your heart by honoring your feelings. By taking baby steps to master the process of peace that comes from within, you are creating a grounding self to be here and now to enjoy life. You are creating a healthy you when your thoughts are clear and your spirit shines. And when you take time to utilize your five senses, then we are becoming a healthy community as a whole. Take a few breaths in and out. Deepen your breath and let it out. Take one more time, breath in. Breathe in energy, vitality, and breathe out anything that doesn't serve you well. Breathe in kindness, love, and breathe out anything that doesn't serve you well. Take a moment now and just focus on your breath. Bring one hand on your stomach, on your belly, and one hand on your heart. Now take a deep breath inhale from the lower ab, mid ab, upper ab, all the way to the lungs, to the nose. And then exhale from the nose, lungs, upper ab, mid ab, lower ab. One more time, take a deep breath inhale, lower ab, mid ab, upper abs, lungs to the nose. And exhale from the nose, lungs, upper ab, mid ab, lower ab. Now just focus on your breath for a moment. And ask yourself, ask your heart, what do you need from me to honor you? How can I bring joy to you? Listen to your heart, what says to you. Does your heart need more self-care? Maybe require more joy? Maybe to have more fun? Or maybe some self-love? Be authentic. What's your heart telling you? And trust what your heart is telling you. Take a few breaths inhale and out. And now, when you are ready, slowly open your eyes and come back with acceptance, wrapped with love, kindness, and compassion.
Thank you so much, Anisa.
You're most welcome.
Hear me? Can you hear me, Anisa?
I can hear you now.
Wonderful. Sorry about that. Thank you so much. That was so lovely and such a great way to end the day. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
And we don't have any questions coming in, but a lot of people saying thank you for your time and that it was so lovely as well. So I think everybody is just relaxed now. Do you have any final words for us tonight, Anisa?
The only thing I could invite the audience that when you identify any situation in your life, be prepared to acknowledge your emotions and then move on. So keep in mind that radical acceptance or radical surrender will not be easy in the short run. You should find that in the long run, things gradually start to improve in your life. And when things start to improve, you might find that everything naturally become easier and lighter, and making it more easier for you to make other necessarily to change some in life. So remember that self-acceptance is a continuous process, and it's evolving process to take in practice. So same as mindfulness exercise, so it requires a lot of repetition. So the more you practice mindfulness, the more you are practicing self-acceptance, and you are mastering the radical acceptance.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Anisa, for sharing everything this evening. I'm sure we can all use some of your practices that you taught us this evening going forward throughout the week. If you do have any other follow-up questions for Anisa, you can email her at info@yogaAnisaCenter.ca. And she also has a new website that is linked on this page as well. So go check her out there. And hopefully we will see Anisa in some future virtual and maybe on-site programs as well, which is pretty exciting. So thank you once again, Anisa, and thank you everyone for joining us this evening. And we hope you have a great week ahead. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks, Anisa.
Bye-bye. Thank you.